You look so great.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. This is like maybe the second time I've done my makeup and my hair.
Is he a month old yet?
He's 4 weeks old today.
He is. Oh my
Yes,
god.
isn't that sad?
Isn't it crazy?
It's so crazy.
Do you feel like I mean, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so much better. It was rough the first couple of weeks, it's always rough. But I'm feeling so much better. Like postpartum wise, I feel better. Like physically, emotionally, mentally, I feel like night and day difference. It's weird. Like that third week, it starts to like shift,
Yeah.
but those first 2 weeks are like a doozy with everything. And you forget so quickly how you forget. You just are like, because I've done it twice before, obviously. So
Yeah. No, but it
like,
is totally crazy. It's crazy how you are doing it all again, and so much of it is instinctually like you remember quickly. You're like, oh yeah, okay, this is what I do. But then
I
there's
know.
stuff that you just, yeah, you're like, oh, I forgot about
Yeah.
this aspect
I
of it.
I feel like the postpartum stuff, like especially with your first baby, like nobody tells you about that stuff or like how hard that part is because you're trying to take care of a baby and then yourself and you're like, how can I do this? Like how can I juggle both? And then on top of it, when you have multiple kids now that I do, that was like, another challenge as well. So yeah, it's just
Sure.
crazy.
Well, and
It's
then
just
those are the things that when you have your next baby, like you have your third baby, you're like, oh yeah, the night sweats or like the weird thing.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that stuff. And then like when your milk comes in and you're engorged and you're like, this is so painful. And like you're laying in a puddle
Oh my gosh, I know.
that you created. I think we
So
had to change our sheets in our bed like every every day for the first 2 weeks because it was just like whether it was me or it was like baby poop or whatever it is, it's
yeah.
like it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
So how did your birth go? Like, tell us the whole story. I know it was
Oh,
a doozy. Ed.
it was a doozy. So I don't know. Do you want the long version or the short
Well,
version?
we're
Because
here for the
let's
long
say,
version, of course.
okay, so we can rewind to I guess four weeks ago. So like I went a week overdue. So that last week I was pregnant. I was like trying all the things you recommended, all the things like me and Alexa were texting because she was so close to our due date. She was due actually a little bit after me and she ended up going first, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, in the thick of it. It's like that last week, you're like, gosh, when is this going to happen? It's like that waiting game of like, you just don't know when it's going to happen. So you're like hoping. And I had told Denny because there were so many different factors going into it because we had like a disagreement probably a couple weeks prior. And that was about like getting induced, right? Because I did not want to get induced. I was like, I want to try to have this baby as natural as possible. Like, I want to go into labor on my own. I don't
Yeah.
know. I was just wanting the same experience that I had with Taylor. Like, Taylor came on her own time. Like,
Yeah.
I was having regular contractions and I wanted that same experience. Like, I didn't want to get induced.
We're back. Had a little
Okay.
technical difficulties, but carry on with where you were at. We were talking. You were saying that you guys were kind of like at a difference of what you wanted. You didn't want to be induced, and
Okay, yes. So let's
yeah,
go from there. So I did not want to get induced. I wanted to go as natural as possible. Like I think you were giving me tips about like the mouse circuit and I got that stuff on Amazon
oh
that
yeah, oh the gentle birth or
yes, yes,
something.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. So I got that and I was doing all the pineapple and dates and like just everything and I told Denny like I can go into labor naturally. Like I don't need to get induced. So because originally my induction, I had an induction date scheduled for. They don't want you to do it until 40 weeks and like 5 days or something. They want you to be
oh
past your due date now. They don't want you to go in early because they were having too many people get induced like earlier or something like that.
yeah,
So they want you to go
makes
to
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. So I had it originally scheduled for like the Monday after Michigan. And I was like,
Okay.
I just felt it was like too soon. So I told my provider, I was like, I just want to postpone it like a week.
Because your
So
due date was the 4th?
my due date was the second. My due date
Second.
was June 2nd. So I
Okay.
had,
I'm looking at my
I know,
calendar.
I am too. I'm looking at my big one that you like told me about.
Yeah.
So my due date was June 2nd. So I told my provider I wanted to wait until like June 9th. So that was like on the calendar. Well, then he kind of was like, "Well, no, you can't do that. Like you're going to make me miss this race." And I was like, "I am not going to make you miss a race. Like you're not going to do that. Like that's ridiculous." So I told Denny, "You're not going to miss a race." Like confidently saying that. Okay. So anyways, we were both on like double opposite ends of the spectrum of what we wanted to do. So then, there was like an idea that like, well, maybe I'll just go to Michigan. Like, even though I'm 40 weeks, we're flying, privately. It's not like commercial. There's a lot less like risk in that. Like, so that way he
Yeah.
doesn't miss it.
Yeah.
So that idea went out the window. So then he goes to Michigan. Like we're just like taking it day by day, just
Yeah.
trying to like get through. I'd said, okay, how about this? I'll compromise with you instead of postponing till that Monday. I'll schedule it for like a Thursday or something, like a Wednesday or Thursday. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I cut the induction like by a couple days so that way he could be there before Michigan.
Okay.
So it changed like 3 different times.
Yeah.
So then I got to that day and I started having contractions. Like it was like it was a Thursday before Michigan and I started having contractions. I did the castor oil stuff,
Oh,
which,
yes. And that was that day you were like, was
yeah,
that, didn't you like take a bath or
I
something?
took
You
a
were like,
bath. I took a bath and I was having regular contractions that morning. I took a bath, I took some Tylenol, and I went back to sleep. And then it was like nothing.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, all right, this may not be real. It was just like I was putting way too much pressure on myself to have the baby before he left. And
And
that was
why
like,
does it feel like it always has to fall on some sort of a, like, just not that time and
right.
other time?
I was having those contractions on that Thursday morning and I was supposed to go in like that night, right?
Yeah.
So I felt very torn between going to the induction and trying to like ride it out and see.
Yeah.
And I just felt like my body was just like telling me it wasn't ready, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was hard to like, I don't know. I felt one way, but like also felt pressured to like do the induction and like just get it done with. You know what I mean? So my
Truly, seeing you, like when we went to ice cream last day of school,
no.
I cannot believe how much longer you were pregnant for. Because I was like, when I left that day, I was like, I'm gonna give it 5 days.
Was convinced he was going to come early because I kept having
Yeah.
that lower pelvic floor pain.
Yeah.
And I
Was
had
that
that.
like shooting pain kind of?
It wasn't shooting. It was like a chronic. It makes sense now in hindsight because that's a whole nother thing. So that chronic pain I was feeling like it was just like on my right side of my pubic bone. So like
Mm.
it wasn't like they call it lightning crotch. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was what it was called, but it was just like this constant like pressure and I would feel it really more so like at night.
Mm.
And so because I had that, I thought for sure I was like, he's so low, like he's gonna come out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So we'll pause that part for like the actual delivery and stuff. But anyways, so I had my sister call that Thursday. She called the hospital and she said like, my sister is like she's in labor. Because I lost my mucus plug that Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Totally
So
like good
yeah.
signs of,
It's a sign. So it was like things were progressing, and I was thinking, in that morning I was having those contractions, whatever. So she called the hospital and asked if I like could I skip my induction, and she was like, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants to do. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Like I'm fine with that. Like, so I was just like writing it out basically. I was just taking it one day at a time. And then he left for Michigan. So I was like trying to stop doing the things,
Yeah.
like my sister and I were curb walking up until that, like,
Yeah, I loved the curb walking videos.
she was like, I'm going to be your doula. I'm going to be your trainer and you're going to have this baby. And then it was like, okay, well, he's leaving for Michigan. So you need to stop trying to have the baby. So that's what I did. I kind of stopped the process of like trying those Saturday and Sunday. And thank God I did because he ended up winning the race.
That's
He
right. It
he
was
won Michigan.
insane.
Yeah, he won Michigan. So I was like, okay, so maybe it was meant to be that I didn't have this baby over this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he wins the race, and I think I went to my friend's baby shower that day, and I was like watching it from my car, and like it was just wild, like the whole set of events. So then I'm looking at my calendar now. Okay. So now we're pushing on the 9th, the 10th. On the
Yeah.
9th, I was 41 weeks pregnant. Um, the 10th, I had a doctor's appointment to see my doctor just to like check on
Do you
things.
know how many people, I just was looking at the calendar, you know how many people were like commenting? I remember seeing people commenting when he won, like, I don't understand. Jordan's had to have had the baby. She's like 43 weeks pregnant. And I'm like, she hasn't had the baby yet. I don't know. It's just
No, it just felt
so
like,
crazy.
how long can people realistically go? And I guess people can go up to like 42 weeks
Oh,
plus,
yeah.
maybe.
You know, it was Tara Almendinger. She went, literally, she was like a month longer pregnant. I need to go back and listen to, we talked about it on the podcast, and I swear she went 43 and like I can't remember what the date was, but
Yes. So
it was insane.
did she do it like natural or like
Yeah,
at
she
home?
did. I mean, I think she finally, no, I think she had to be induced. Gosh, I don't remember. I need to go back and listen. I'm mixing it with someone else's story, but I
Yeah.
do know it was her that was pregnant forever.
Yeah.
Um, it's just wild how,
Yeah.
some
I've
people
heard
go,
even like
it,
someone told me they were like 20 days over. I was like, wait, what?
can you
That's
imagine? Yeah,
a long time. Like,
yeah.
oh, that like,
I just never would have thought, like, I'm trying to think, last day of school was May 21st, and we went and we had ice cream. I remember thinking, like, oh, she's gonna have that baby before the Coke 600. And
yeah.
it was like
Well,
3 weeks in a row.
Alexa ended up doing just that. She really
Yeah.
like the day before
Yeah.
the day, like the early
That
morning
night.
hours of the Coke 600.
Yeah.
It was that weekend, like literally on race day, and I'm like, oh my God. Because I thought for sure, I thought we were gonna have a baby at home on the Coke 600 or something like that. I wanted this
Yeah.
like cool story of like, he came like my water broke and he came really fast and it happened in like 3 minutes, but like that was the polar opposite of what actually happened. Um,
So then he got home from Michigan, and then
yes,
what happened?
so what happened? So then we go to my doctor's appointment. And, you actually he hadn't been to most appointments. He only came to like the first appointment and like I don't even think he came to the anatomy scan because we already knew it was a boy at that point because we did the blood work. And so I was about to go to the doctor without him. And he like got up real quick and was like, let's go. And I'm like, okay. So we go to the doctor. And at this one, because you're overdue, so they put you on the monitors. They give you, they put the bands around your belly.
Yeah.
Give you a heart rate monitor for him and a contraction monitor for you. And on the way to the doctor, I was feeling like this cramping pain, which obviously is contractions, but I was like in denial. It just didn't feel strong. It just felt, I thought they were Braxton Hicks because
Yeah.
my whole stomach was getting tight and they weren't like, period type cramps that you usually get when
Yeah.
you're in labor. So she was like, no, you're in labor. So my contractions were like every 5 minutes or so once we got to the doctor. She's like, you're actually in early active labor. But she was monitoring the heartbeat, and she was like, there was a couple times where it would like jump off the monitor or it would like dip. And she was like, this is like, you could wait. She's like, but I wouldn't. She's like, I want you to go to the hospital like right now. And we're
Yeah.
like, what? No.
Oh my God.
What did you say?
That's why Denny came to the appointment, because he was like, I'm gonna make sure that you get this baby out of this woman.
I was scared. I honestly was like, oh my God, if I had gone to that appointment without him, I would have been like terrified, I think. Because, yeah, she was like basically like, you need to go like right now. And at that point, so this is on June 10th. This is like, it was his sister's birthday. We were supposed to go to dinner for her birthday that night. And, you know, we were like, okay, is all our stuff together? We have 2 other kids we've got to figure out what to do with. You know, we had kind of like made a plan in our head, but we just didn't really know. So we
And
started.
when was he supposed to go to Mexico?
So he was supposed to go to Mexico on that Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like the 12th, the 12th. Yeah, so he was supposed to go to Mexico then. So she told us to go right then. So we were like, we'll take our time, you know.
Yeah.
We're over here like, it's fine, we're good, we're good.
Yeah.
And
Go
so
home, take a shower,
yeah,
have some stuff, eat some food.
yeah, you want to do those things, and
And you
like,
know that baby's not gonna sneak out of your vagina. Like,
no, but in my mind, I was like, if we go, and like selfishly, we were like, oh, we could have a June 11th baby, like the 11s, you know, like that would be cool.
yeah. Yeah.
So, and we still wanted to go to like his sister's birthday dinner and like make her feel special and stuff like that. So we were like, we'll just take our time. So we came home, took showers, got our stuff together, figured out a plan for the kids, started calling like family members just to like prepare them. Like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to dinner and then we're going to go to the hospital basically. So we all went to Ease for dinner and then we just went over to the hospital after. You know, they check you into this big cushy suite, like you're like, oh wow. I was like, did you pull some strings? Like, this is a really
Oh
nice
my gosh, nice.
room. But no, that's just where you deliver, and then they move
Right, right.
to like after delivery, like the little tiny, you know, 2 by
Did you
4.
deliver that you deliver in? I'm like, and then they ship you away.
Yeah, they shuttle you out. You're like, you're done. You're next. Yeah,
You're looking at another brick wall
yeah.
out your window or whatever.
Right. So we checked in on the 10th, the evening of the 10th, you know, and I was like, okay, I was so like you know, it was probably like 7 o'clock or 6 or 7 when we got there. And I'm like, let's just take our time. Cause like, I was trying to like beat it past midnight, you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
get to midnight, then we can, you know, then we're, you know, the 11th. It was just kind of like one of those things we like selfishly wanted. But
Yeah.
anyways, so
Like, if you're gonna go this far, might as well, yeah, make it on the.
that's what I was like. If I'm this late, we might as well have a June 11th baby. Anyways, so we get there, and like the thing I was fighting against, but getting induced was the pitocin part. Like, I know once you get pitocin, it's the contractions are painful, and you basically are kind of like, you have to get an epidural. Like, you cannot not get an epidural if you have pitocin. So, of
Sounds
course,
just
when you get there,
brutal.
they're like, you kind of have to do this. And I was like, no, I didn't want to do that. I like looked at Denny and I was like crying. And then I called my sister and I was like, this isn't what I had in mind. You know, like everything I had in mind was like not going the way I wanted it to, you know? I
Yeah.
was like having regrets. Like, I wish I would have done like a home birth and I wish I would have done this in the water. Like, it was like my
Yeah.
hormones were like all over the place. So like, and the nurses come in and check on you every 30 minutes. You know, they're upping your dosage. You know, they're giving you more stuff, you know, and like,
Yeah.
it was just emotional. And like, so like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm calling my sister and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
The nurse is like, are you crying? Are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I'm like, I'm not doing it like this next time. I don't know. In my mind, I was just like, this isn't what I wanted. But in hindsight, it was what I needed. I ended up getting the epidural like that evening because I knew I needed to sleep. I knew
Yeah.
I was going to have a long day the next day, and I was like, I know this is gonna hurt, so I might as well just get the epidural and get it over with so I can like get some rest. So that's what I did. I got the epidural, tried to sleep as much as I could, but all your emotions, all your adrenaline, everything is like rushing through you, and it's just like you can't sleep. You're like
Yeah.
you're waiting for that moment. So I think around like 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 in the morning at this point, I think I was like 8 centimeters once they checked me. Because, they check you and she's like, oh, yeah, your water's broken. I'm like, it has? Like, I didn't even feel anything because I'm numb. So you wouldn't
Yeah, yeah.
really know. So I was like 8 centimeters. So then my family starts to come to the hospital around like, I would say like 9 or 10 in the morning. Or probably like 8 or 9, I'd say, because we started pushing at 10:10 a.m.
Wow.
So my family's in there in the waiting room. There's like 10 of them, between both of our families.
Yeah.
And so we start pushing at 10:10 a.m. And in my mind, I'm like, ooh, like I have that whole 11 thing in my head. So I'm like, maybe I could have. I thought I was gonna have a baby in 5 minutes flat. I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll slow it down because I wanted an 11 a.m. baby.
Yeah.
Or I thought that in my head.
That's how it would go for you as well. Like we were talking.
It's like,
I was like, this baby's gonna come flying
he's
out of
just
you.
gonna
It's gonna
come
be a
right
piece of
out.
cake.
He's just gonna slide
Yeah.
out into, first base.
Yeah.
So backstory, Taylor came out in like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Molly came out in like 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Just a few contractions, that was it. So I started pushing at 10:10. That 11:11 mark had passed. I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just take our time here.
Yeah.
So I start pushing and I push and I push and I push and like not it's he's not really progressing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They even were like, I think around the hour mark, they're like, do you want a mirror? And I was like, yeah, I want that mirror. I never got the mirror before.
Yeah.
And they they roll this mirror. It looked like an easel, like a whiteboard easel.
Totally.
It's like huge. I'm like, oh my God, that's a big mirror. I thought it was like a little handheld thing that they like just,
Oh my gosh, I thought the exact same thing. I was thinking they were just gonna like hold like a little compact mirror. Here they wheel in this whiteboard that's a whole mirror, and I'm like, that's too much.
big. It's too big. So yeah, they're like, do you want it like this angle or that angle? And I was like, yeah. So there's so many funny moments of our like just the pushing part or the beginning part at least because
Well, Denny, what is his like? Is he a guy that's like, I'm gonna stay over here, or is he in it?
at first he was like, I don't want to see, I don't want the mirror. I'm like, I don't care. I didn't ask what you wanted. This is what I want. I want the mirror. I want to see. And then I started to see things and I was like, oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
my delivery team was so wonderful. Like she was like covering things, and like
Yeah.
wiping things and like just I was like, you're awesome. Thank you so much for like giving me my dignity. But like then
Yeah.
he was interested. He wanted to see. So he was like very into the process and I needed him because like he was very like influential in all of it. Like he was right there like because it was so difficult. Like I mean, he was like
Yeah.
literally physically like pushing my back up because I could not like physically go. But
Well, yeah.
anyway, so we got this mirror and like, we're kind of just like taking our time through these contractions. And you can only push on your contractions. You can't push in the waiting
Yeah.
time. So you have like a few minutes in between each contraction to like regain your strength, right? Because like you bear down. And like at first I was starting on my back and just bearing down and holding my legs up and like I had two nurses here and him here. He's lifting my back and all this stuff. And anyways, it was just like wild, and at one point, like he's like giving me water and putting lip gloss. He put
Yeah.
He put lip gloss. He was putting like the Laneige lip balm on my lips because my lips were so dry.
It's so dry, yeah.
And at one point, and I think this is just like the funny, we were just like, I was so hopped up on like drugs. Like everything was funny to me, and like I was just cracking jokes left and right. And like at one point, then he was like, "How are your lips?" And I was like, "Which ones?" And like everybody was like busted out laughing because like this is too good. It was like you just set me up for the perfect joke.
Yeah.
And so like the nurses were laughing, the doctor was laughing, and it was just like, oh my God, this experience. Like I wish there was a camera in here so badly.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things you don't want to forget. It felt like a movie. It felt like a movie. So then, you go past that first hour. Okay.
Was your sister in there with you?
No, I didn't have anybody in there, and I was very other than Denny and the main doctor and the two nurses.
So did you get any videos at all, like prop a phone up or?
You know what? I think he did, but I think it stopped at the first hour.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I've seen it, so I need to ask him because he's got it. I think he like hid it because you're not supposed to take video. Like they don't want you to until the baby's out. So we would like ask those questions. We're like, can we take video? Can we not? Like I brought this whole tripod and everything, and like you stress over that like hospital bag. It's so stupid. Like you stress about this hospital bag, and then you like use only like a few things from it,
Yeah.
But you have so many ideas in your head and they go out the window once you're like in that moment, and like you don't care what anybody sees, like you're just like,
Oh yeah.
let's get this baby out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think past that first hour went by, and then it's like the second hour went by, and I'm like, what is going on? And so I was trying all the positions possible. I even did the mile circuit again. They're like, you're gonna have to like, and they have to physically move you. Like you can't move yourself. So I could feel like my epidural was actually pretty good because I could feel my legs down. I didn't have much control over them, but I had feeling. I just couldn't feel the pain from my contractions. So I could still like hold myself up. I could still do things like that. I remember just there was like side pushing, and like there's one called tug of war where you literally have the bed sheet, and the doctor has the bed sheet and she's pulling this way, and I have it wrapped around my wrist pulling this way, and it was just like,
Was that giving you any?
no, he was.
So you weren't even like crowning at
I
this
was not even crowning. I could see his head
Yeah.
inside, but it was like still so far back.
Yeah.
And so I was just getting super defeated, and I'm like, what is going on? Am I not doing it right? Like I could read, the nurses were exhausted themselves. Like one of them, I remember her stopping and like and they were counting down. So like, they're like, okay, Jordan, let's go. And she'd be like, 1, 2, like you push for so many seconds. Like I was like pushing for like 12 seconds, and then a break, and then another deep 8-second push, another 8-second push, and then you'd have the break, and you'd be like, okay, and you're physically just like, what am I doing, and how is this not progressing?
Oh, you have to have felt like I do feel like you were in a car crash or something.
It does. It makes you like afterwards, you feel like you've been hit by a bus. And I was just like, okay, what am I doing? What's going on? So she told me, at the 2.5 hour mark, we need to talk options. And I was like, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I can't do my job. Just in my mind, this is just not going the way I had thought. But we are there in that moment, and we have to do something. So that 2.5 hour mark came, and she was like, we can do, there's like a vacuum delivery or like a forceps delivery. And I was like, okay. So then she had the other doctor that came in, and she said, well, we can't do vacuum because you're not crowning right now. So she was like, the only option we would have is to do like a forceps delivery. And I was like, oh God. So let's salad tong my baby out of of this space. And I was just like, at that point, I didn't care. I was just like, I just wanted him out. I wanted him safe. She told me the risks involved. There could be some scarring or like, on his part, like on his
Yeah.
body. She's like, but once I tell you to, she's like, you'll push for a certain amount of time. I'll tell you to stop pushing. That's me taking them out. And then we're going to deliver the rest of him out with my hands.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, do what you need to do. Just
Yeah.
do what you need to do. Get him out of here safe and sound. Lips are dry.
Which one?
My lips are dry. So do whatever you need to do. Yeah, which ones? Um, to get him out. And so that's when everybody came in. So we went from having 5 people, myself included, I think. Wait, Danny, yes, to about 12 in a matter of like 10 minutes. And at this
This was the team that was going to do the forceps?
yeah,
Okay.
so this was the
Or,
other
do
doctor.
all the,
Right. This
yeah.
is the other doctor. She had more experience with the forceps, I guess. So she comes in with her team, and then the NICU team has to come in there because they have to make sure that the baby is okay.
Yeah.
So it was like Denny actually he was going back and forth between our room and the waiting room because there was a lot of like people are like, or our family was kind of like, what's going on? What's taking so
Yeah.
long? So he was like going back and forth, like updating the family and also trying to come back in there and support me. But then once all those people came in and he wasn't there, I was like, where is he? He's got to get back in here. Like we're about to have
Yeah.
this baby. So we're pushing like 1:30 p.m. at this point. And yeah, so they came in and it was like it was like my original team was so great at cheering me on and encouraging me. And then when those other people came in, it was like, we're gonna have this baby and you're gonna do great. It was like
Oh, that's
it was
good.
like they like just lifted you up. It was like the wildest, most encouraging experience ever. So
Oh, that's so
it
nice.
was so good. I'm like about to be in tears because of how great it was. But I remember this one woman, I think she was from the NICU team. She was just like, "You've got this, Jordan. You got this. Like, this is it. This is it. This is it. We can see his head, And you're like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this.
Oh
And
my
so I
God.
peek. She told me to push, and then within, I think it was like 3 or 4 contractions, at this point, when she brought the forceps, I closed my eyes the rest of the time because,
Didn't want to see
well,
how that was going to go down.
they had taken the mirror
Yeah.
and that mirror was gone at this point and everybody was in and like, it was just like, I was just in that moment and just trying to like talk to myself and like, you can do this, like you can get him out. Like this will happen. Like I did not think he was going to come out in that first. I honestly didn't know if the forceps would work. I like, oh shoot, I might have to like get a C-section at the end of this thing and whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I guess, I mean, I can't feel anything. So,
Yeah. She put
um,
those in.
she
I've
did.
never really even seen them till
Yeah,
right now.
I don't think I even remember looking at what they looked like. I think I was like,
Yeah.
don't look at it so you don't have to like feel bad. So she I think she went in there and then she told me to stop pushing and then I think she took them out and then she put her hands in there and delivered him the rest of the way. And so by that point it was like he was born at 1:53. They gave him to me and his head was all wonky donkey.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And then it was like very quick because he wasn't crying. So they moved him quickly to that the incubator bed or whatever it is, and they were just monitoring him. But he wasn't crying. So I was like, just take him and do what you need to do to make sure he's like good. And so then
Yeah.
I remember Denny going over there checking on him. His breathing was really heavy. So his like I could hear him breathing really heavy and really fast. So they were like, we do need to take him to the NICU. So
Wow.
I was like just laying there like you know
Like you'd just been hit by a truck.
hit by a truck. They have to deliver the placenta and everything else, and she has to do all of her stuff down there and the stitches and everything like that. So
Yeah.
I was just kind of like totally delirious, totally out of it, trusting that Denny was good with the baby over there and the team. And they said, NICU, I overheard it. They came to me and they said, yeah, we need to take him. And I was like, that's totally fine. Just do what you need to do. Make sure he's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was born at 1:53 and he ended up staying at the NICU for like just one night.
Oh, he stayed all night?
He stayed all night. So,
Oh gosh, wow.
yeah, my family ended up, once you have the baby, they have to do their thing. And then my family came in and we told them what happened. And it was like something from a movie. And I can't believe I actually remembered most of that to even tell it back.
Yeah.
But, it was just wild. And like, oh, I know. Okay, so back to like why I was having that pelvic floor pain. He
Oh
was
yeah.
stuck. He was stuck. So they told me he was stuck in my pelvis. That's why he was not coming out. He was
Yeah.
stuck underneath there. So he had like basically like buried his head, I guess, in my pubic bone. So he
Interesting.
wasn't, they told me when I was pushing, there's a part of your pelvis that he's just not coming out from underneath it. It's
Mm.
like, it's not you, he's in a weird position. He was face up, he was sunny side up, basically, they
Mm.
call it, and he was stuck underneath the bone. So, and looking at him now, he has like little blood, like a little scab or like blood mark from where he
Mm.
like buried into my bone. But
Oh, it's so wild.
and even when I was pushing, I couldn't because he was like flat out. He was long. He was almost like 2 feet long. It was crazy. He was like 23 inches or 22 and a few quarters
Wow.
inches. Yeah. So his toes were like up here. So I couldn't crunch to push. So that's why Denny was having to push me. But anyways, he was sunny side up, came out this way. Yeah, like he was just
Crazy.
he was just stuck underneath. So, in hindsight, I had to have an epidural. I had to.
That would have been probably an emergency C-section if you hadn't had the wherewithal to be like it all worked out,
Correct.
you
I
know?
could not have gone. I don't think like the way he was positioned. I mean, there was no way I was going to have like this natural experience or he's going to come out real quick or I could have like there was a reason he was in there for that long and then just
Well, and
like
thankfully you didn't have a home birth and you were there and
right.
because they were able to service,
Correct.
do some NICU time, like everything worked
Yeah.
out
No,
the way it was
it
supposed
had
to.
to happen the way that it happened because he probably would not have been safe or come out like,
Yeah.
in that way. And I'm so grateful to like the team that was there and like, I mean, they were just like so encouraging and so incredible.
Well, you can get like one nurse that changes the whole
Oh my
dynamic of the
gosh.
room, you
Like
know?
I loved all the nurses and the nurse that was with me the night before, I really wanted her to like stay and like she came and checked on me the next day and was like, I heard it was like this crazy long experience. I'm like, are you okay? And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I love you. And like, you're I actually made them some baskets. I'm gonna go take them like this week.
Oh,
But just because
it's so
like
sweet.
it's so great and I'm like I'm so grateful for the whole experience, even though as crazy as it was, like it, I'm just grateful for that experience, because
Yeah.
you just appreciate it so much more. And like,
Oh my gosh.
it was great.
So when he came to you from NICU,
Yes.
so how long did you stay in the hospital?
So we were there for till about, I think it was Friday. We got him back on the 12th. Um, and then we stayed that Thursday night. We left on Friday afternoon. We came home on Friday, I guess it was the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because they have to monitor him, obviously, and because he was in
Yeah.
for like a night, they just want to make sure everything's okay. And then he has to, do all the things, the paperwork. And we didn't name him. We did not name him until the morning of the 13th. We were just calling him Buddy, like, hey Buddy, like how like
Yeah.
we're so happy you're here, that sort of thing. And
And
so
his name almost became Buddy.
his name almost became Buddy. It still kind of technically is in my book. And so yeah, we kind of, I was the name portion, that's a whole nother thing. Because we were just not agreeing. And then I think we had like ChatGPT like line up all these names and to see, like, we liked some names with some middle names and not others. And then there's just so many different like combinations you can come up with. And at one point I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm okay with the three that we're looking at or whatever. I'm going to let you name him. You can text me what it is, me and my sister, to say what it is. And if I really don't like it, I'll say something. But like, I'm going to like, at this point, I'm going to like give it to you because I can't make a decision right now. Like
Yeah.
mentally, I just was like, I'm over this. Like, I just want to name him and be done with it.
Yeah.
So he sent my sister a text, me and Lindsay, on a group text. And it was like, introducing James Drew Miller Hamlin. And I was like, okay, I do have something to say. I have something to say. So, I have a friend named Drew Miller, actually. I have a friend, and he.
I didn't know the Miller in it.
Well, so we liked the name Miles Miller. And I liked Drew. Drew meant like fighter or like warrior or something like that. And I liked that because I felt like, his birth story, that meant something to that.
Yeah.
So
Is Taylor's middle name Drew? Right?
so Taylor's middle name is James.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
We were having a hard time because Taylor's middle name is James, but his family really wanted James to be like in his name somehow
Okay.
because he's a boy and he's the first boy. And so I was like feeling like between a rock and a hard place because Taylor did not want her name to be used in any way. And she had very strong feelings about that. And I wanted to, honor her. But I also want to honor the family and the legacy of the James name being passed down, which is why I gave it to her in the first place. Anyways.
Right.
So I was like, okay. Because I said, if it's going to have James in it, I'd rather him have 4 names. Because Denny has 4 names. His name is James Dennis Allen Hamlin. But he also says, I don't like having 4 names because it's hard when you do paperwork and, legal things. And like, you have 2 middle names. Like, which one is it? And so I was hold on, that's me.
I didn't realize he had a 4-name name.
Yeah, he has a 4-name name.
I knew Denny wasn't his name,
That's his middle name.
but I couldn't remember.
So-
what is his first name?
His first name is James. So his name is James Dennis Allen Hamlin. So his dad's name is also Dennis, but then my dad's name is also Dennis. We have too many Denny's.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I didn't realize that your dads were both Dennis.
Well, my dad's name is Charles Dennis Fish. So he goes by Denny too, which is very strange and unusual.
That's so funny.
But I was like, there's just too many Denny's. We can't have another Denny.
Yeah.
So, and I like the name James. Obviously, I used it for Taylor. And so I was like, and I know Drew Miller, like, that whole 4-name thing. And so, and also Denny really wanted to incorporate the JD initials because JD Gibbs had such an influential part in getting Denny over to JGR. And like, Denny has a very like good bond with Joe, obviously. And like, he sees Joe as like a father figure, and so
such an important person in his life.
Absolutely. And so we just wanted to like that JD to like carry on.
Yeah, I love that.
I do too. But I don't know if I necessarily want to like, I'm sure maybe like as he gets older, I'm sure JD or DH, something like that will come about, but I do want to call him by his name. We're just still trying to like figure out which one feels right. But anyways, so I was like, I know Drew Miller, so why don't we what about Jameson was like part of our options. I was like, what if we like did Jameson because it means James's son, right? So it's still James is in there. And then we liked Drew. We were both, that was one of our names that we both agreed on together. And I like that it was another D name. So it
Yeah.
could be like a little DH or something like that. So I was like, what about Jameson Drew? And we'll drop the Miller. And he was like, I like that. I was like, okay, so Jameson Drew Hamlin, that's our name. Did we decide a name? He's like, Jameson Drew Hamlin. I'm like, okay, so we'll call him Drew. And he's like, yes, we'll do that. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we picked a name. Oh my God, we picked a name.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
With like minutes to spare before the birth certificate people came in and
Yeah.
so and we hadn't told anybody until we FaceTimed his mom and told her first and then called his dad and then we came home and we told the girls once we got home we told them what his name was. So
Did they like it?
they did. So Taylor was like, "What's his name? What's his name?" Like she was like freaking out. But I was like, "His name is Jameson Drew Hamlin, and we're gonna call him Drew." So that was our original. But now I hear everyone calling him Jameson, and I kind of like that too. So
It
I
is
don't know. I
cute.
feel like one of them will stick.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Gosh.
Yeah. It was
So what was it like though when he first came into the room with you from the NICU? Like what was that sort of
So
reunited?
actually, because I was going to visit him in the NICU those
Oh,
early
true.
hours. So like at like 5 a.m. and like they feed him every few hours. So like I was like, I'll come at 5, I'll feed him, like because he was latching like as soon as I got to the NICU, he was like latching on
Oh, good.
pretty great. Yeah. But like that part was like scary because he had all these like, tubes stuck to him and
Yeah.
like, they have all these monitors and they're pricking his little feet and, it was just like, oh my God, like, oh,
Ugh.
so great when you go. But then one of our friends actually works at the hospital. He's married to one of the crew guys at JGR and she wheeled him it right in at like, I think it was like 10 or 11 that morning. I was like, oh my God. She's like, guess who's here? And I was like, he's back? And she's like, he's back. I'm like, oh my God. Like, thank you. Thank
Oh,
you. It was like, that was it. Like, I don't have to do any paperwork or anything. And she was like, nope,
yeah.
here he is. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
great, give him to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Oh
cute.
my
So he is nursing, has that been going good?
He's been good, doing good. He does have, so currently, like, the only things that are going on with him, like, he's a great sleeper. Like, we've got him in this little routine. I have, like, this great setup in our room. How he sleeps, like, I put this, like, rocker on. So currently, he has, like, the baby acne going on right now. He's got, the doctor thinks he might have, like, a little cow's milk protein allergy.
Hmm.
So I'm having to, like, cut out dairy. Um, which is really hard because I was like, I don't eat dairy. Like I don't drink milk. Like I really don't. I don't eat
Yeah.
cereal. I don't really drink milk. She's like, well, what about like cheeses or yogurts? I was like, oh yeah, I do that. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I'd recommend cutting those out, just to see if it helps.
Yeah.
And because it was like every time I was feeding him, he'd break out in this like red rash kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Babies have lots of rashes when they're little.
Yeah.
And then like they have that little like light baby acne, but his was like really red and inflamed. And he had like I thought his like diaper rash would like spread or something like that.
Yeah.
But no. So I'm having to like cut out dairy, but I'm also supplementing some formula right now that is like a hypoallergenic formula.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that cow's milk in it, I guess. And he does great with that. Like, you know,
Good.
I had always like nursed my kids and like I think by that second one you're like, whatever. Just as long as you're fed,
I know.
happy. I don't like you're good. But so
Yes.
he's doing really good. I can't believe he's like 4 weeks old. He'll be, I guess, 1 month in a couple days.
Oh,
And it's gone by so fast. It's gone by
yeah.
so fast. Like healing wise, it took me a long. It's always taken me a long time to like heal myself, and like I said, those first 2 weeks are like a doozy because you're trying to you're in pain. I mean, I had like a big old bruise down there. It
Oh, yeah.
was black
Oh,
as
yeah.
black could be. Uh,
Probably from the forceps, I would
I
imagine.
think so, but it was weird because it was like on my right side, which I think is
Yeah.
probably where he got stuck.
Mm.
So,
Oh my gosh, were you just so like hardly
I could
walking?
not, I could barely stand. Like, they even had to, I just, yeah, I could barely walk. I was so swollen. They give you a bunch of, if you do a forceps delivery like we did, they give you like an IV full of antibiotics because they put that, they're putting a foreign object
Something
into
in.
you. So you
Right.
have to so they pumped me full of fluids. I was so swollen. My toes were like Miss Piggy. They were just so swollen but luckily all that swelling went down pretty quickly and it was just like a matter of healing and time. Time is like the
Yeah.
best thing and I just it's crazy how fast it goes and how fast you forget and now we're
Yeah.
here. Now I'm feeling like we took pictures a couple days ago with him. I got myself showered and do your hair, your makeup. You start feeling like yourself again. And so yeah, we're doing way better than we were.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna take it easy for a while longer?
Oh
Or do you
yeah.
think you want to go to a race
Well,
in the next month or?
we did go to Chicago. But
Oh my gosh, I didn't
we
realize.
did, but it was very, I just wanted to go and I love Chicago. I think it's a great city. So I wanted to go out and explore, but it was really hard because I kind of was it was optimistic thinking on my end to bring a newborn to travel with. He slept great on the plane there and back. It was just you know, it's hard because you're trying to still figure out this new rhythm, this new routine. And then you're
Yeah.
also trying to take care of him, but also get ready. And that process, it takes 10 times longer to get anywhere, obviously. You have to ultra prepare. And I think both of us, me and Denny both were oh, we can go walk around the city and go shopping and do this stuff. And I was can we we order room service. We maybe got out one time for one of a 2311 event and that was a lot. So, but we did
Yeah.
it and I'm glad that we did it because now I'm okay, I can take I hadn't even left my house until that almost 2 week mark when I had to take him to the doctor. And that was a big ordeal for me to even just get out of the house and on my own with him and because you have to
Yeah.
stop, you have to pull over, you have to change diapers, you got to feed. It's just a process. So, but
And then you kind of slowly find a rhythm though, and like you're in that
Mhm.
getting in that rhythm now,
Figuring
and
out
then it's like,
our rhythm, our new routine. It's different because my kids are all different ages, right? So I got a middle
yeah,
schooler who has things she wants to do, and then I have a 7-year-old who her things are different than what Taylor wants to do, and then I have a newborn. So I'm trying
you're in every
I am
stage.
at every stage of life at the same time. It's very weird, but also they are the best helpers ever.
Oh, I bet.
Molly is so she's like a little night nurse. She just knows what to do. She's helping me change diapers and she knows how to put the diaper underneath the other diaper and
Yeah,
give him his, she's trying to distract him or something and she's so motherly in general
yeah.
that she's been great. And I mean,
She's such a good,
mhm.
like every time they're ever together, she's just always so obsessed with
Yeah, baby
babies
dolls.
and
I know she's got
yeah,
her first real life baby doll here, and she loves him.
so
She
fun.
comes home and she's "Where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? Where?"
I'm so glad everything, went okay, even though it was a doozy. You guys are doing good. And
We're
I just,
doing so much better, so much
yeah.
better. So
Also, I can't believe how like viral that clip of Ty, not viral, but
oh, I
that
wanted to
clip of
talk about
Ty
this. I wanted to talk about
being like, I beat your
Beat
whatever
your
he's. I don't
favorite
even know how
driver.
he said it.
Yeah, I beat your. Who was it?
I beat your favorite driver or something like
I
that.
know that was
So funny.
great. That was like classic. That was classic. That was
It was
classic.
perfect.
I
It's.
know.
I mean, trust me, we're under no like. We're both just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
He's still
I
going. He's
know.
still
I
in the thing. He's
know. I
becoming
know
like
because that wasn't no because Mexico didn't he didn't go. He did not go to the race for Mexico. That was what race was that? That was
the whole bracket thing started
Pocono,
in Atlanta.
Pocono or Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah, it started in Atlanta, and Ty and Denny were up against each other, and Denny
Right.
was in that huge wreck, and it just was. I mean, Ty ran great that day. He ran great all day, but it was just such a funny interview
I
with
know.
that
I
whole
loved it. It
thing,
was
and
like perfect. Denny thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like,
yeah.
this is all in good fun. It was so great. I hope he takes it. I hope he gets it all away because like that would be
Oh my gosh.
pretty awesome if he could do that.
It would be epic. He was certainly I mean, he was literally the last one in the whole thing, and no one has expected him to go one round, let alone two, and be now in the final eight. So yeah,
I
we're
bet you
just
your
like,
bracket looks pretty good.
I was gonna say, I don't know what you guys are talking about. My bracket looks great.
I think you're gonna win. I bet you
Yeah.
you'll win your bracket out of everybody. I didn't fill one out, but like
No.
that's
I mean, we're not supposed to or whatever. I like screenshot it and circled all of the ones that I had in mind. I'm like, I did pretty good
yeah. You're like,
actually.
oh, I'm pretty sure I'm like a clean sweep here.
Yeah.
I
So funny.
love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Yeah. No,
Yeah, that was cute.
that's
Well,
awesome.
thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
you're so
And
welcome. Thank you for having me.